Welcome, Helldiver. So, you wanna learn how to become a one-man army and solo the Terminids? Well, today is your lucky day, as I'm going to teach you everything you need to know to become a true hero of democracy and easily beat the Terminids' hardest planet, Oshaune. Note that this video is not only for teaching you how to solo, but how to beat any mission on Oshaune in general, whether alone or helping your teammates. Let's begin. Let's start by assessing the main threats to you. Those are the Predator Stalker and Predator Hunter, the Charger, Dragon Roaches, and the Hivelord. These are the enemies that will kill you most of the time. But even so, 9 out of 10 times you're not getting killed by big enemies, you die because of the overwhelming amount of small enemies. Specifically, the Predator Stalker and Predator Hunter, that will quickly run around you and attack you from both sides at the same time, leaving almost no time to react, and forcing you to swing your weapon left and right to deal with them. And let me tell you, that's the hardest part of not dying. Every other weapon is useless against them. Assault rifles and SMGs, you kill one or two and the others will kill you while you try to reload. That's why the best weapon class to deal with them is by far shotguns, including the Blitzer, due to their ability to stagger them. Although be warned, none of the breaker variants nor the halt flechette mode can apply stagger. The high ammo count and their ability to reload individual shells is what truly makes shotguns shine. Being stuck with a low magazine could be the difference between life and death, but having to reload and waste the ammo that's left really makes a difference in the long run. That's why reloading individual shells is so good. It doesn't make you vulnerable while you reload, and it comes very handy when you're low ammo and really need to kill one or two Predator Stalkers. Along with that, all shotguns can one-shot Predator and normal Stalkers with a headshot, although pretty hard to hit. So instead of going straight for the headshot, you can first stagger them with a shot anywhere to the body and then shoot them in the head. Note that your ammo will go down absurdly fast while fighting Terminids, so I advise you to bring the supply pack. That will give you 100% of your ammo capacity back on your main weapon, along with giving you very precious stems. Other weapons that can stagger stalkers include the Jar 5 Dominator, the Eruptor, and the Exploding Crossbow, although I don't recommend using either the Dominator or the Eruptor unless you're in a group. As I said before, magazines have a big disadvantage of leaving you vulnerable while reloading, so both of these weapons have this problem, and even worse, the Eruptor is terrible against enemies that jump you, especially Predator Stalkers and Hunter, that will get close to you so quickly that if you shoot them, you'll die from the explosion. So only use the Eruptor as a weapon to assist your team, destroying bug holes, killing big enemies like Alpha Commanders or Bile Spewers, and letting your teammates deal with the small ones. As for the Exploding Crossbow, I simply dislike it. I've played with it a couple of times ever since it first came out up until today, and I never liked using it. Dealing with the fast enemies first is how you stay alive for the whole mission. Your only real threats are enemies that can catch up to you, those being Predator Stalkers and Predator Hunters, Chargers, Alpha Commanders because of their ability to charge you, and Brute Commanders that are extremely fast and can catch up to you in a second. If you kill these 4 enemies and distract the Charger, you can ignore the rest and easily breeze through the Mega Nest, destroying all the bug holes and leave before the giant horde arrives. Another important note is to not walk in the open. If you are required to go in the open for objective or to clear a nest, please use the Patriot or Emancipator to clear the bulk of enemies as quickly as possible, so they don't have the time to call reinforcements, and either deal with the Dragon Roach immediately or run to the underground. The last enemy you need to be aware of are Chargers. You don't necessarily have to kill them, you can just stagger them with a shot to the face with a spear gun. But if there's no other option, I advise throwing a termite to the face, but not immediately. I've died many times trying to hit that skill shot. Instead, wait for it to charge you and then dodge by just running like this. Wait for it to turn back to you and only then throw the termite to its face. You can see that I hold it a little bit before throwing it. That's because sometimes the grenade will ricochet from its face and it's really unlucky, but I think that with the spikes activated, the thermite have a bigger radius around it to stick to the charger's face. What happens is that just like with the throwable knife, the thermite has a handle and the actual sticky part, and sometimes you are unlucky enough to hit the charger's face with a handle, wasting your thermite. And as a quick final note, normal stalkers take 25% more damage from fire, making the cookout even better against them. Dragon Roaches. They deal 100% fire damage. Yes, it looks green, but it has no acid involved, it's 100% fire. That's why armors with a Desert Stormer, Acclimated or Inflammable are the best choices on missions in Oshaune. as dragon roaches will always spawn on these planets. Now, you're probably thinking, well, the inflammable is obviously the best choice, and I say no. Why? Because you're gonna have to heal anyway, and in Oceania you're also going to have to deal with heavy acid damage from the Hivelord itself. I've lost count of how many times 2 or 3 teammates died to the Hivelord's acid attack, while I barely got out alive with 10 HP because of that 50% acid resistance. And not only that, but it will also sometimes save you from the Predator-Hunter combo where he hits you twice and spits acid on you. That 50% resistance is barely enough to keep you alive, but enough of that. Dragon roaches, how to deal with them. The best way by far is using the rail cannon, which will always instantly kill the dragon roach as long as it locks in. And the rail cannon is even better now due to the recent buff that reduced the cooldown from 210 seconds to 180 seconds, 156 without ship module upgrades. But there are alternatives. The anti-tank emplacement from the Urban Legends Warbond will take down the dragon roach in about 5 shots to the body. The other option is the automaton pistol from the Servants of Freedom Warbond, that will most of the time one-shot the dragon roach. Yes, it is a bit hard to aim, but you'll get used to it. And there's a neat trick to make the automaton projectile go really far. Let me show you. First, a normal shot at 45-degree angle. Now for the trick shot. Hold anything that's not the automaton, doesn't matter if it is your primary, your support weapon or even a grenade. Then you swap to the automaton and just as you click swap, hold your fire button. This will make the automaton instantly fire when you equip it, making your shot go much farther, from 45 to 65 meters. When you finally get the hang of it, you'll be killing dragon roaches left and right with a simple secondary slot, which isn't even that useful against the terminids anyway. What about the emancipator? Yes, it works, but you waste a ton of ammo to take a single dragon roach down, mainly because it will stagger every time you hit it, making it dance in the air, and so headshots will be extremely hard to hit consistently. And besides, exosuits are really fragile against dragon roaches. The mecha's arms explode really easy. If you're inside a mecha and you see a dragon roach coming for you, I suggest stepping off the mecha so it doesn't get damaged and quickly kill the dragon roach with either the rail cannon or the automaton. If that's not possible, as I said before, try to run to the underground. Hivelords have 150,000 HP. Their entire body is covered by armor plates that will only take damage from weapons with penetration 5 or above, and its head is divided in sections that are covered by armor 6 or above, making it extremely hard to damage it, although its mouth has no armor, so you can shoot it with any weapon and deal a significant amount of damage, because the mouth damage is 100% transferred to the Hivelord's main HP. Now, for his attacks. First, the emerge. The Hivelord will emerge from the ground, dealing massive damage to players in the circle where he's emerging from, and ragdolling the players in the air, making most players die from fall damage. And if you're too close to the center, he's going to drag you with his mouth, instantly killing you. Also deal constant damage to anyone that steps too close while he's emerging. In other words, an attack that will 99% of the time kill you if you get caught. Although, if you're insanely lucky, you might survive the fall damage. This attack will also instantly destroy any vehicle if it is placed at the center of where he's emerging. Although, if your vehicle isn't exactly at the center, there is a chance he won't bite it, only dragging it 150 meters into the air. And mechas will actually fall unscathed, because, fun fact, mechas don't take fall damage. Second, there's the body slam, which again will almost always kill you instantly. The only way to not die to it is either running out of his way and praying that he only hits you with the edge of his body, which will ragdoll you and send you flying again, and go inside a mech, because the exosuits will not only survive the body slam, but it takes many body slams to destroy it, which I don't even know if it is actually possible for it to be destroyed. Third is the acid spray. If you are too far for a body slam, the Hivelord will instead spit acid into a wide cone of about 300 meters in front of it, which doesn't deal that much damage to Helldivers, but what makes this ability so powerful is that it can actually headshot you, killing you instantly. That's why sometimes the Hivelord will only deal about half your HP as damage, and other times you'll die instantly. That's also why Acclimated and Desert Stormer are so good. I'm pretty sure these armor's passives can make enough of a difference for you to survive a headshot from the Hivelord, keeping you alive at 10% HP. Fourth, while not exactly an attack, the Hivelord will travel through the ground, shifting the land along the way. If you are caught in its path, you'll get ragdolled and receive a heavy movement penalty for many seconds, which in my opinion is completely unfun and unfair, although this ability will also affect land enemies that are caught in it. Fifth, it will do a little jump out of the ground, and just as they emerge, if he gets you with his mouth, you instantly die, otherwise you just be ragdolled. Now, let me explain to you how its health pool works. The Hivelord has a total of 150,000 main HP, meaning that if that counter reaches 0 by any means, the Hivelord will die. Every part of its body deals a different percentage of damage to its health. For example, the armor plates. Let's suppose you dealt 1000 damage to one of its armor plates. Here it says that 10% of that damage will go to its main health pool, meaning that the armor plate will take 1000 damage and the main health pool will take 10% of that, 100 damage, so from 150,000 to 149,900. Sounds impossible to kill, but relax, that's why I aim to teach you it's not. You see, each armor plate has 15,000 plus 35,000 HP, meaning that once you deal 50,000 damage to a single armor plate, it will explode, leaving its inner flesh exposed. A quick side note is that the lowest armor plate actually has 10,000 extra HP for some reason, and the damage of the inner flesh to its main HP is 100%, meaning 1000 damage to its inner flesh is minus 1000 from its main HP, so from 150,000 to 149,000. A really important note is that the inner flesh, including the mouth, takes 0 damage from explosion, meaning explosive damage will be completely nullified. For example, the autocannon, that deals 3000 damage, 2000 explosive and 1000 projectile, will only deal the 1000 damage from the projectile, or the emancipator cannons, that deal 450 damage, 300 projectile and 150 explosive, will only deal 300 damage per shot, so be warned. Now, how exactly do you take one down? There are many ways and many loadouts possible. For example, the strafing run with orbital Gatling barrage, that allows you to deal damage over a long period of time that will eventually take the Hivelord down. But today I'm going to teach you how to fight the Hivelord head on. First, find a safe zone, a place where the Hivelord can't emerge, like nests, extraction zones or objectives. Since the Hivelord can't emerge in these places, they are perfect to place your sentries and use your mecha without having to worry about getting one-shot. Speaking of the mecha, the way the Hivelord interacts with the mecha is weird. First of all, you don't get instantly killed if he slams on you. In fact, you can tank a lot of them before getting destroyed. Your only limitation is your arms, that will get destroyed between the 3rd and 5th slam. So, you've reached a safe zone, now what? The build I use to kill the Hivelord is this, the anti-tank emplacement that deal a total of 43,500 damage, 39,000 projectile and 4,500 explosive, the Patriot mech that deal 23,100 damage from its 14 missiles, and 121,500 damage from all its Gatling gun rounds. And last but not least, the autocannon that will be crucial to kill the Hivelord in a single rotation of your stratagems, dealing the final 30k damage needed to kill it. Why the Patriot instead of the Emancipator, you ask? First, the Patriot has a potential 140,000 damage, compared to the mere 60,000 damage from the Emancipator, and its main purpose is not only to deal damage to the Hivelord, but also kill any incoming patrols before they can call for a bug breach, which is your main problem while fighting the Hivelord. And after killing the Hivelord, the mecha's purpose will change into helping you deal with outside nests and horde objectives, like geological survey or raise the flag. Killing the Hivelord is easy, until waves upon waves of bugs spawn to kill you, so above all, prioritize killing the patrol units. Even if you don't kill the Hivelord in your first rotation, you can simply do it later, the Hivelord doesn't regenerate HP. Another big problem of killing it is that sometimes it will just stop attacking you and leave. Don't stay still wasting time, go to the next objective or nest, keep doing your objectives until he's back, and when he does, stay on your current safe zone and unleash hell upon it. Everything I've said so far becomes way easier if you're in a team. Once you explode its armor with the 14 rockets and all the ammo from the AT emplacement, your allies will probably attack the Hivelord as well, helping you deal the 145,000 damage needed to kill it. As a bonus meme strategy for closed parties, you can all bring portable hellbombs as they deal 10k damage, and that damage is dealt directly into the Hivelord's main health pool, bypassing all types of resistance. The wiki mentions that it will actually deal around 14,000 damage to the Hivelord, which is from the explosion radius engulfing its armor plates and the fins, allowing you to kill it with around 11 portable hellbombs. This trivialized the Hivelord kill by a lot while only using a single slot from every player. This meme strategy only works for groups of 4. If you try this alone, you take 47 minutes of constantly calling hellbombs, so obviously not possible. The first thing I wanna make clear is the armor. There are currently 3 armors with the Desert Stormer passive, 1 light, 1 medium and 1 heavy, 2 with the acclimated, 1 light and 1 medium that could only be obtained during an event and are no longer available for now, and 4 with the inflammable passive, 1 heavy, 2 medium and 1 light. I always recommend you using the light variant of any of those 3 types of passives. That's because the light armor can tank a single hit from pretty much any enemy, and if you're taking more than 1 hit, it's probably because you are already surrounded and are going to die anyway. Plus, the light armor makes it way easier to avoid enemies by just running, most importantly, charges. The first loadout is assuming you want to kill the Hivelord solo, which consists of the AT cannon emplacement to deal the most damage to the armor plates, orbital rail cannon to quickly deal with the dragon roaches, the Patriot to deal the main damage to the Hivelord, kill patrols and clear the bulk of enemies on the map after you're done killing the Hivelord, and the autocannon to deal the remaining damage to the Hivelord and destroy bug holes once you're into that part. The next loadout is the spear gun plus supply pack, and the other 2 slots are up to you. With the spear gun, a shotgun of your choice and the supply pack, you can easily clear the whole map, but not kill the Hivelord. There's also a third option, which is the grenade launcher plus supply pack, and the other 2 slots are up to your choice. The idea is the same as the spear gun, to use the grenade launcher to clear bug holes and strong enemies, while being supported by the supply backpack. For your primary weapon, I want to make clear that shotguns, while not 100% necessary, are pretty much the only viable option to allow you to solo the map without dying, excluding the grenade crossbow. You can, of course, use any weapon of your choice, but they make you rely too much on your team to kill enemies as a group, making you vulnerable to an overwhelming amount of enemies while alone. That being said, my personal recommendation is the cookout. Most small enemies will die from a single headshot or from the damage of a single spray plus the full duration of a single fire, as well as being extremely useful for dealing with shriekers, as this weapon can reach surprisingly far. For the secondary slot, the best option and most important is the automaton pistol, which deals 3000 damage, instantly killing charges no matter where you hit, bio-titans if hit in the face, dragon roaches if hit in the face or wing joint, impalers when they put their face on the ground, and every other enemy, and most important of all, being able to close giant holes where bio-titans and impalers come from. The automaton is the only weapon in the entire game besides the spear that can destroy these mega holes, making it vital for a true solo run, as there is no other way to close these holes besides the spear, the automaton and the portable hellbomb itself. For your grenade slot, you have a bit of a freedom to choose. My personal best are the gas grenade and the thermite. The gas grenade have 4 charges and surprisingly enough can close bug holes, while also being extremely useful for crowd control. Again, your biggest threat while diving in Oceone are the overwhelming amount of enemies, making something like the gas grenade extremely useful, especially since the enemies you face are all trying to get close to you as fast as possible, and so exploding this grenade at your feet or in front of you while running won't kill you. It makes a big gas cloud and apply confusion to enemies for a long period of time. I don't have the gas grenade, but I've seen people use it and I strongly recommend it. The other grenade option is the thermite, which is extremely useful for killing impalers and chargers. 1 thermite to the head will kill a charger after about 7 seconds, and 2 thermites to the exposed face of an impaler will kill it. You can also destroy a shrieker nest with 2 thermites or close a bug hole if you're in a pinch. For boosters, you can pretty much choose anything while playing solo, because even if you don't take the HSO, you can just call in a resupply and immediately get the supplies that you are missing. But my recommended options are: first, the localization confusion, so you don't get as many patrols spawning while you try to solo the Hivelord. Second, the vitality enhancer, to give you an additional 10% resistance to all kinds of damage. And third, the experimental infusion, but only if someone is already bringing the vitality enhancer, as with this booster you will get an additional 10% damage resistance to all kinds of damage, as well as making you 10% faster. So, you've reached this far. You now know everything you need to conquer Oshaune. Note that this guide is specifically for Oshaune. These tactics don't work on normal Terminate Super Helldive. You get overwhelmed by charges and Bio-Titans and die, but I hope this condensed knowledge makes as much difference for you as it did for me. I remember dying dozens of times during my first attempts at Super Helldive in Oshaune, which is perfectly normal. It took me at least 10 attempts to finally complete a single mission and maybe 20 to complete 3 missions in a row. But now it is so easy to do Super Helldive, it actually feels kinda weird. I see my allies struggling to do a single objective while I single-handedly clear all the nests and secondary objectives on the map and even grab the mutated egg without dying, just to brag about doing it. Here are a few useful things that have to do with this playstyle but don't fit any of the topics that I've talked about. First, the strafing run can actually close bug holes if you line it perfectly. For some reason, you instantly die if you're too close to a bug hole while it's destroyed. I don't know why, but it happens. You can clearly see I get killed for apparently no reason. Strafing run can also be used to destroy Shrieker Nest and even 2 if you line it perfectly. The autocannon and speargun will one-shot every medium or small enemy with a headshot. You don't need to use the hellbomb to destroy the Spore Lung. It has 30k HP and can be destroyed by pretty much everything due to its light armor, but has a 100% durable resistance, so all weapons will do significantly less damage to it. For example, the Patriot would need 334 bullets to deal the 30k damage, but due to its 100% durable damage, you will instead need a whopping 1305 bullets, which is a huge difference. So be warned when trying to take the Spore Lung down without using the hellbomb. But if you want to destroy it without the hellbomb, you will need weapons with a lot of durable damage, such as the recoilless rifle, the expandable AT, the commando, and the spear. All these weapons will deal 100% of their damage to the Spore Lung, but the best option by far are the emancipator bullets that will deal 150 durable damage plus 150 explosive damage to the Spore Lung, meaning you will need 100 shots from the emancipator. Now, those of you who have been paying attention will probably think, wait, but the hellbomb only deals 10k damage, how can it destroy the Spore Lung? That's because to destroy the Spore Lung you can either deal the 30k damage or use a demolition force of 50, which can only be achieved by the 500 kg bomb with a demolition of 50, the hellbomb and portable hellbomb with a demolition force of 60, the high yield explosive with a demolition force of 50, and the mini nuke with a demolition force of 60. Realistically speaking, your only options are either spending 100 shots from the emancipator or using the portable hellbomb. I saw a video of a guy saying that the autocannon will actually deal more damage to the Hivelord while using the flak mode, as your projectile deals 150 damage plus 110 from each individual shrapnel, instead of the normal 325 damage of a single projectile. Instead of using the loadout I recommended, you can use the exploding crossbow or the eruptor as your main weapon to close bug holes, instead of relying on the autocannon or speargun, giving you an additional slot, but I've never played with this build before, so I can't properly judge it or advise you how you should play with it. If you're new to the planet, you might not know this, but Bio-Titans do not spawn on Oshaune at all. They simply don't spawn, and in mega nests with Bio-Titan holes, an impaler will spawn instead. If a dragon roach targets your mecha, don't run. If you run, your arms will get damaged and destroyed, so if you can't kill it before it reaches you, just face its fire breath, which will do little to no damage to the exosuit's faceplate. The Emancipator is the best stratagem for new players on Oshaune. If it is your first time on Oshaune, or if you want to train other skills, I highly recommend using the Emancipator to do the hard work. Here's a clip of me killing an entire mega nest with just a single Emancipator and nothing else.
Launch initiated. Terminids think they're safe on this hive world. Correct them.
Objective critical stratagem available. Deploying support weapon.
Administering freedom. Objective located.
Lost. Sending replacement.
Yeah, unbelievable amounts of skill issue in this clip. In my defense, this was my first match of the day and I had just woke up. At least I got a clip of destroying the Mega Nest on my first attempt, reinforcing how easy it is to solo the Mega Nest with the Emancipator. Any noob can do it. I breezed through the Mega Nest even with 5 charges spawning and losing an arm. This one is from the last patch. I launched my game, went into a no-showing match and realized that every single time I entered a mission, my map looked like this. I don't know if it is just me, but since the update is so recent, I haven't seen anyone else talking about it. Second, some bug holes will spawn underground, and you can't destroy it by normal means. You can only destroy it by hitting the edges of the hole with a weapon with demolition force of 40 or more. And I'm sure this isn't a client-sided bug. I saw a teammate of mine really confused with this underground hole and was struggling to destroy it. I told him to step away as I called in a 500 kg to destroy it. You can also use the autocannon to do it. And lastly, I've sometimes seen indestructible holes, which can't be destroyed by me by any means, but my allies can. Again, I don't know why it happens, but it does. Obviously, I can't find footage of this too, but trust me when I say it happens. So be ready when it does, so you don't stand around wasting resources on something indestructible, and maybe ask your teammates for some help. That's all for today, fellow Helldivers. Thanks for watching, and again, I hope my knowledge is helpful to you in your upcoming battles. This is my first video, so I don't know if it will do well, but I guess if I do get maybe 1k likes, I'll make a second video on bots or the Illuminate, as the Illuminate were the first faction I've ever won solo. Again, thanks for watching and see you next time.